Hi girls and boys, today we will begin reading a chapter book called Walter the Lazy Mouse. The author is Marjorie Flack. Before we start reading this, I would like for you to get a spiral notebook, maybe one of the ones you brought home in your backpack, a pencil, and put your thinking caps on, tie them nice and tight. As we read, I'm going to be asking you to jot some things down, and there might even be a little bit of math. So here we go. Walter the Lazy Mouse. Once upon a time, there was a small young mouse named Walter. Walter lived in a mouse village in a very nice house with his father, mother, 5 brothers, and 6 sisters. Okay, wait. Right now, I want you to write the equation, 5 and 6, and the answer. They were a very busy mouse family, all but Walter. Walter was a lazy young mouse. So, if he has 5 brothers and 6 sisters, how many boys are in the family and how many altogether? And how many girls are in the family? Write another equation showing all of the children, including him. In the morning, Walter was never quite dressed. By the time his sisters and his brothers were having their breakfast, and when they started off for school, Walter would still be eating his cereal. Then he would run all the way to school, but no matter how fast he ran, somehow Walter would always be late. When Miss Gray, his teacher, would ask Walter, "How much is 2 and 2?" Walter would think, and then he would count on his fingers. But he was so slow that by the time he said 5, the teacher had forgotten the question and was busy with someone else. How did he do? 2 and 2? When Walter went roller skating, he was so slow he could never catch up with his feet. When Walter played football, he was so slow he was always in the way of other players. At first, Walter's father and mother were greatly concerned because their little son was so lazy. They tried to hurry him and then they tried to punish him, but it did no good. Walter only seemed to grow lazier and slower. So, since they were very busy mice with 11 other children to worry about, they gave it up. I wonder what that means, they gave it up. As time went on, Walter became so slow he never even saw his father or mother or sisters or brothers, because on school days, by the time Walter was up in the morning, his mother and father had already left for work, and his sisters and brothers had all gone to school. By the time Walter got to school, they were all home for lunch. And when Walter arrived home for lunch, they had all left again. Walter was so slow that by the time he got home from school every night, he was so late that the whole family had eaten their dinner and already gone to bed. And on Saturdays and Sundays, Walter never even got out of bed, not at all. So, after a few months of this, Walter's father and mother, sisters and brothers, had not seen him for so long they forgot all about Walter. To be sure, his mother would sometimes even say, I wonder who left this empty bowl on the table. Or, what became of that piece of pie I left in the pantry? But she was a very busy mother and did not give it even a second thought. So who's eating those things? One spring evening, when Walter came home from school, he went to the kitchen to find some food. When he opened the door, he saw that the kitchen looked very strange. There was no stove, no table, no chairs. He went to the pantry, and it was bare. Not a crumb of food he could find. Walter went into the dining room. That too was empty. He went into the living room. Not a bit of furniture was in it. Walter ran up the stairs into his room. His bed was gone. His chair was gone. Everything was gone. Girls and boys, we're going to stop there, but I want for you to answer this question. Write down the answer in your journal. Where do you think his family went? And why do you think they left without Walter? When you write your responses, I want for you to restate the question. So the first question is, where do you think his family went? When you answer the question, take out the question word, where do you? And I want for you to replace it with, I think his family went. Same is true with the second question. Why do you think they left? Take off the question word, why. Take off do you, why do you, and replace it with, I think they left because. Please use uppercases at the beginning of your sentences. Use proper punctuation and conventions at the end of your sentences. And when you have done this, I would love for you to take a picture and post it on Seesaw so that I can see what your thoughts are, what the equations were that you wrote. And I will see you tomorrow for the next part of our story.